Good morning. Do you hear that on the roof? I am getting a new roof installed this morning, so if you hear all of that, don't mind it. I know it's like, how do you not mind it whenever it's literally the only thing that you fucking hear? It sounds like Santa and all of his reindeer are on the roof, like about to take off at any point, and all the reindeers are like. Yesterday I was working on a bunch of Dicey baby stuff at the shop, and today I am going to the Airbnb. I feel like I'm having a hard time work-life balancing, trying to balance everything out right now just because I have put so much on my plate. I also don't feel like I've been able to even keep up with my TikToks. I used to post like 3 to 5 times a day easily, and I would post just like whatever was on my brain. Funny, you know, not really think too much of it. And it's not even the TikTok ban that's getting me down. It's like literally as I'm getting older, I don't know, like I guess I see a lot of the videos that I posted in the past and I cringe myself out. And I recently saw a saying that says, if you're not cringing yourself out, then what the fuck are you doing? Because whenever you make yourself cringe is like when you grow. But I don't know, like I've been like looking at myself different. I've been insecure with what I'm posting. I've been comparing myself to other people, which is very unlike me. I feel like for the most part, I'm a pretty authentic person. I don't care like what anybody else is doing, what anybody else is saying, anything like that. But recently I've been like overanalyzing myself and being like hypercritical of myself and comparing myself to other people, and like it's just a weird space to be in. My brain has not worked, like I haven't operated like this, like, so yeah, like it mainly happened when I got sober, to be honest. Like being sober is such a weird place for me. Also, I'm new to sobriety. I've tried to get sober so many times in my life, and for the first time I'm, you know, sober, free from everything. I haven't had a clearer mindset in literally my whole entire life. Like ever since I was 16, even probably younger than that, I've been abusing substances and finding something that numbs the pain and puts some sort of buffer and barrier between me and reality, because I feel like life on its own just wasn't enough, and like I felt like I needed something to help me cope with life. And I don't really know why that is. I'm still kind of like searching for answers. I mean, I know that I had a kid at 13 and I have like trauma or whatever, but at the same time and in the same breath, I don't understand what was so bad about life. Like I have a trauma, like bad shit has happened to me, but why do I feel the need to put like this buffer between me and my everyday life? Like my life is so beautiful, and I could start crying because like I'm so lucky, and like I don't know why I'm not happy, you know? I think I am happy, but it's just like a lot to process. And yeah, I have a lot of shit that I'm still working through right now, but I don't know. TikTok has been weird for me. I feel like I don't truly know what I want to do with my life, and I've lived so many lives. Like, you know, I started Dicey Dyes and I shut Dicey Dyes down, which I thought was my passion, but I knew it wasn't my forever. Like I knew that I didn't want to be making tie-dye t-shirts forever. I definitely always knew that there was gonna be some sort of end date to it, because even though I love tie-dye and I loved Dicey Dyes, it just isn't like what I want to do forever. Like I couldn't see myself as a 40-year-old woman still making tie-dye t-shirts. And that's not saying that, like, you know, that I don't know, like I just always knew that I was going to do something different. What I didn't know. And I'm currently starting the sister company of Dicey Dyes, which is Dicey Baby, which isn't going to be anything like Dicey Dyes. It's going to be very different. We've been working on some really, really cool stuff. Some of the stuff is handmade. Some of the stuff is things that I designed and I'm getting manufactured. There's a lot of cool stuff, and we've been working really, really hard on it. So I'm so excited to share that with you guys. But yeah, life has been a lot recently. I've been not very sure of myself, which is weird, and I just think that that's like all a part of like my healing journey, is questioning myself in every single thing that I do and what my intentions are behind it, because I'm trying to move more intentionally rather than you know, like that. But I feel like my growth comes from like my split decisions and like my my sporadicness, like my carelessness, I feel like I grow more that way, but whenever I operate that way, I get myself into trouble, and I'm just trying to find the balance of moving with intention while still being myself and still having that fire that's in me, you know? It's a lot. We knew that we were getting a roof for like a while, but Cody didn't check his email, and then they showed up at 6 o'clock this morning, and they had to wait for us to wake up, which really wasn't that long after that because we had to take our kids to school this morning. And the hurricane came through. We had our insurance adjuster come out, and they told us that our roof qualified for hurricane damage, so we were able to just pay a $1,000 deductible and get a whole brand new free freaking roof. Not free, but it was $1,000, but a whole roof for $1,000. Like, are you joking me? God is good. God is good. Because if you guys know anything about owning a home and roofs, they're expensive. I need to learn not to cuss on YouTube. Not that my thing, like my platform isn't even monetized yet, but I just need to chill out. Like, chill out with the cussing, Gabby. I just showered. We're gonna straighten my hair today because I washed it last night. I was supposed to get a blowout this week with Meg, but one of her clients was trying to get their hair done before Christmas. And honestly, a blowout isn't that deep, so we rescheduled my blowout, and then I realized my son had an orthodontist appointment, and I have to drop my car off at Mercedes that morning, so I wouldn't be able to make the blowout time that I was supposed to go to. So I just canceled it, washed my hair myself last night, which was honestly pretty nice because I didn't have much hot water anyways. Where did I just put my hairbrush? What is going on? I don't live in a small house by like any means necessary. I mean, technically my house was a duplex that was converted into a 3-bedroom single family home with an unfinished basement, and then whenever I bought it, I completed the basement, so now we have a finished basement. But even now, I feel like our house is too small. We don't have enough storage. But with the housing market, we're not moving anytime soon. Like, literally, nar. I was looking at a couple houses that would be big enough for our family, and they're like $1 million, and they're not even bigger than our house. And we didn't pay $1 million for our house, and we only bought our house like 2 years ago. No, a year ago. We bought our house, we moved into our house 2 years ago. Completed all of the paperwork a year ago. My mom just texted me. Let's see what she says. I miss my mom. I wish that she lived here. It's honestly really sad that she doesn't, because as I've gotten older, my mom and I have gotten closer. We haven't always had the best relationship, but I feel like if she did live close by now, we would be like besties. We are besties, you know, but I would like to see my mom more than just when she comes up here to visit. And a lot of the time she comes up here to visit, I still have to like work and get my shit done. So I know a lot of you guys have questions as to why Dicey Dyes is closing down, and I wanted to talk a little bit about Dicey Dyes, the closing down, what pushed me to that point of being like, yep, you know what, like, we're closing her down. The first reason that people thought that I was closing down was because I had got arrested in March of 2024 this year, and people thought that I was going to like get sentenced to prison. They thought that I was going to jail for a very long time, and they thought that I was closing down my business because I had gotten sentenced to like serve time or whatever. I don't know. There was a lot of speculations about that being the reason that I had pulled the trigger to close Dicey Dyes down, but in actuality, I had thoughts about closing down Dicey Dyes for a while. So let's start very beginning. So 2021, okay, 2021, I had started Baby Egan LLC, which was a sticker shop, and that was in kind of like the peak and prime of me blowing up on TikTok. My kids and we would make stickers for our sticker shop. It was called Baby Egan LLC. I would go live with my friends who also had sticker shops. There was like a community of us who were making and selling stickers. It was kind of a trend in 2021. There was a lot of people who were making and selling stickers, and we would hand draw our stickers on Procreate, and then we would buy them in bulk, and we would go live and we would pack sticker orders together. And honestly, that was such a fun time in my life. I had so much fun creating the stickers, getting my kids involved with it. Great time, okay? So it kind of had gotten to be a lot for me. I was starting to like work with brands. I had been working with brands for a little bit, but I started working with like more brands and trying to like tap into social media a little bit. I also have 4 kids, and my mother-in-law had offered to help me pack sticker orders. Like I said, my roof is getting remodeled, so that's all the noise. But anyway, so my mother-in-law had offered to help me start packing sticker orders like when we went out of town, and I was gonna move my sticker shop to her house to try to divide my work-life balance, because I could go live and sell stickers for hours, but we also lived in a 3-bedroom condo at the time, and so it was just kind of hard to go live. It started to get hard to go live, it started to get hard to pack orders, and it just started to become a little bit much. So my mother-in-law was like, hey, I'll help you pack these orders, I'll help you pack whenever you guys go out of town, because we were traveling a little bit at this point. And so that's how my mother-in-law got involved into everything in the first place. So and before I had my mother-in-law help me, I tried to get my best friend at the time, who had moved, I had helped move here from Texas because she was going through a whole entire situation. My best friend of 20 years, and I had tried to move the sticker shop to her house so that she could be the one that helps me and I could pay her to pack, because I was trying to like help her or whatever, but she couldn't keep her apartment clean, 1, and 2, she just could not keep up with anything that I was like asking of her. So I was like, hey, I don't think this is a good idea, like let's move this to my mother-in-law's house. We moved everything out of her apartment to my mother-in-law's house, and then we were doing stickers for a while, and then one day I was like, I want to take one of our sticker designs and put it on a t-shirt. And me and my mother-in-law were like, oh yeah, like we should make shirts, like that'll be so much fun. We should design the perfect logo to put on a t-shirt. It'll be hand designed by us, and we should sell those. So, gosh, they're really going at it. My mother-in-law designed the mushroom, I designed Buddy, which was the little leafy guy that had a face on him. And we said we want to do tie-dye, because at the time, like, I was obsessed with tie-dye. I was always wearing tie-dye stuff. My mother-in-law liked tie-dye. She grew up in, I don't know, like the 70s. She grew up, she's younger than my parents. She's in her 50s, but she was obsessed with tie-dye. She loved the idea. So we started researching how to tie-dye, like what are the best dyes to use, and we made our first round of tie-dye shirts ever, which was in her garage. We made our first round of shirts, and my best friend at the time was kind of watching me do all of this in the background. Like, she was watching me learn how to do tie-dye, you know, trial and error of it. She was there the first time we did a practice round, and once we realized that this was gonna be like a lucrative business and that we were gonna be able to make money and that the demand was there, that people wanted these shirts, I had offered her a job, like, hey, I can pay you $20 an hour if you want to help me tie-dye this. Like, I will definitely be able to give you as many hours as you're getting at the grocery store you're working at. She hated her job at the grocery store she was working at, and so it just worked out. So she quit her job at the grocery store, started working with me. Like I said in the beginning, I have 4 kids, and the demand was there. I mean, I still to this day, the only thing that pains me the most about shutting down Dicey Dyes is how much time I lost with my kids building Dicey Dyes. I'm talking about being there until 3 o'clock in the morning, being there 7 days a week sometimes, all day. Like, we worked, okay? And that's one thing I can't take away from anybody who worked with me or for me in the beginning, was we worked, okay? And like I said, we were a startup, so like we hadn't established anything. All my employees were 1099 contractors who essentially could make their own hours, but we did have like a workload that had to be done. Like, as long as the work was getting done, I didn't care when people were coming in. Like, they were doing 1099 contractor work. We tried to make it to where it was scheduled at one point, like between, like, you know, hey, let's make sure the work is getting done in the daylight and not at night, because at night people would just kind of turn it more into a party rather than working, and I was even guilty of that too. A lot of the times when we were in the beginning building phases of Dicey Dyes, it was late nights of us all getting super freaking lifted, getting like super stimulated to try to stay up long enough to get everything done. Whether we were drinking beers, making mixed drinks, you know, puff passing, like we were trying to stay awake. Energy drinks, ordering food, like, and this was a common thing. So when we would work late at night, it would kind of get to the point where I feel like we were getting counterproductive because we were trying to keep ourselves awake to get all this shit done, when in actuality we were just making more mistakes because we were so tired, when we should have just planned it out right or came in earlier in the day. But it was really hard for me as a mom to balance my entire life. The whole business model was wrong. I mean, you have to think, I was 22 years old building a tie-dye business based around the things that I loved, which were smoking weed and, you know, it just, I don't know. The foundations of Dicey Dyes were built on partying, almost. You know, we would stay up late, getting messed up, being hungover, like, it just, it makes me like nauseous to think about. After some time goes by, we get our first space. We were doing all of this mainly out of my mother-in-law's shed in her backyard, if you remember the shed days. And we got our first space, which was behind a nail salon, which I think that I low-key was getting ripped off on the rent. I paid like $1,000 or $1,200 fucking dollars, $1,200 a month for this tiny little hole in the wall that they told me that they were gonna like remodel all this stuff, but they didn't. And then like there was like, it was crappy, but I paid it because at the time, like I said, sales were good, everything was good. I had the money for $1,200 worth of rent, and I really needed a space immediately. But looking back, like I would have never rented that space for $1,200 a month. It was literally, it didn't even have an address. The fire department would like constantly, we backed up to a fire department at where the shop was, like our first little location, and the fire department was constantly harassing us. So everything is going good. I'm having a hard time like handling everything, like my personal life at this point. You know, I had spent like a year building this business, and I was getting burnt out, like genuinely getting burnt out about like 6, 7, 8 months in of going hardcore into this business. I was like, I need to hire more people, and I need to be the owner of this business like I was supposed to be and like I was intended to be this entire time. Because in the beginning, I was the one working, I was the one doing with everybody. But it got to the point where I was burning myself out. I didn't have enough time to be a mom. I was missing so many moments and so many memories with my kids. And so I was like, okay, we need to hire more people, and I need to take a step back, and I need to teach these people how to do what I do so that I can be home. Because like I said, at the end of the day, I have 4 kids. I built this business. Now it's time for me to take a step back, and it's time for me to, you know, get myself together. I mean, like it was too much. So we ended up hiring some more people. Like I said, my best friend at the time, she was the one who had, you know, started with me. The thing is this is what people don't understand. She may have gotten hired in the very beginning, but I was the one who had put all the money up front. She was never entitled to anything. She was never an owner of the business. She was just somebody who I had moved here from Texas, who I had been friends with forever, had got a job here. She was going through a really bad situation in Texas. Gave her a job, and I wanted to make her like, you know, the one that was kind of like in charge of everything as we were hiring on these new people, for me to be able to take a step back, focus on my social media again, focus on my family again, focus on my kids. So as soon as I started kind of taking a step back, we started hiring new people. I even hired one of her friends that had moved to Cincinnati because he was trying to, his lease ended or something, and then he ended up moving in with her at her 1-bedroom apartment, and then they ended up hating each other, so they didn't want to work together, but they both worked for me. And it was a whole, like, there was drama with every single person that worked with us, with my former best friend. Like, every single person, there was a problem, even if it was somebody that she wanted me to hire. and it got really freaking stressful, really freaking draining. There were so many mistakes being made, so much money being lost because things were like getting literally messed up due to like negligence, and people still working under those same pretenses of getting messed up, getting drunk, getting high the whole time that they're working, because I sucked at setting boundaries with people. Even whenever I was ready to start taking the business seriously and operating it as such, it was like it was already too late. I had already set the pace that we were, you know, chill, laid back, make your own hours, to where nobody took me seriously. Like, I could say, hey, we have to be here, we have to get this done at this time. Nobody would really like take it seriously at all, until I would get pushed to the points where nobody's taking me seriously. People are talking about me behind my back because I'm not working and everybody else does all the work for me. Like, what? Like, I own the company, I'm signing your paychecks, and I built this company, I set the precedent for this company, you know, like I led the way for this. This was all my ideas, my money that I put into this business to grow it, to build it. I employed people, and then now I'm being the owner of the company, taking a step back, focusing on my social media, which is getting us all of these sales. And now all of a sudden I'm the bad guy because I'm not on the ground working every single day with them. But it's like, how can I pay people to do all of the stuff that we need done and be the one that's there and also run the company at the same time? It doesn't make any sense. I'm only one person. I also have a family. Like, it was so frustrating. So as soon as I started taking a step back, that's whenever everything kind of shifted. My best friend at the time, she started to resent me once I took a step back, and I was, you know, not the one that was there tie-dyeing every single day, and I wasn't the one that was there, you know, in the shop every day. I started focusing on my social media again. I started focusing on all the things that were getting us sales and making us, you know, money as a company, so I could keep affording to pay all of these people who are now working under us. Because we eventually wanted to grow into where we had a storefront and where we, you know, could hire people that aren't just 1099 contractors, you know, get like business insurance that is, you know, actually become a legitimate business. So as we're working up to, you know, making this pivotal turning point from 2022, which all of 2022 we had like 1099 contractors and stuff like that, to turning into 2023, where beginning of 2023 we were looking at like workers comp, employee, like how we can actually get people on W-2s working for us as like actual employees, like actually forming our business, because, you know, we didn't want to jump into, it's expensive to do that. We didn't want to jump into any of that without knowing that we were going to be able to afford it, that we were going to afford to keep going on. So beginning of 2023, things just start getting weird. Like as 2022 was ending, as we're about to transition into this like period of, you know, now we're turning into a legit business, whatever. My best friend at the time just resented me entirely. She didn't think that I was running the business right. She hated her job, hated me, didn't like the way that I was running anything. I had already like not set enough boundaries, had, you know, like there was just no respect there. Like, I had tried to respect her and all of her wishes and work with her, but I just felt like she was never going to be happy with me no matter what I did. And so December, New Year's Eve rolls around, and I've kind of already told all of this, you know, before, but New Year's Eve rolls around, and we were getting our hair done together, and my hairstylist and I, Meg, we always talk about this moment because she was there and she was the one that was doing our hair, and the vibes that day were, I didn't know what was going on, but like I could tell that something was like about to happen. And I kept asking her the whole hair appointment, like, what's going on? Like, what's up? Like, what's wrong? Because she was just acting so weird to me. Like, it was just like, I didn't know what was going on. And apparently, she had been talking to this girl that worked at Whole Foods, who, her name, and I'm not even gonna like sugarcoat her name or like try to cover it up, because we're gonna sugarcoat her name. She had become friends when she first moved here from Texas and got the job at the grocery store before I hired her. Someone who had followed me on TikTok had seen the whole journey of me moving my former best friend here. And her name was Kelsey, okay? Kelsey's boyfriend also worked for me for like 8 months, like almost a year. And I hired him because my former best friend at the time was like, hey, Kelsey's boyfriend, he needs a job. Me and him get along really well. Like, can you please hire him? I didn't really know Kelsey or her boyfriend, but if my former best friend at the time wanted to work with him and that would be someone that she was comfortable working with, like, I hired him. I hired almost every single person she wanted me to hire so that she would have like somebody she wanted to work with whenever I had to step back and like run the company and like be with my family. Like, so frustrating. So I hire Kelsey's boyfriend. He's awesome. Like, literally, I cannot complain about Kelsey's boyfriend one bit. He always showed up, did his job, like, never got involved in any of the drama, was very neutral, always was super, like, respectful and kind to me. And I really feel bad that he did get caught up in the crossfire of all of that. But at the same time, not, because, like, how are you so oblivious and blind to how psychotic your girlfriend is? Like, literally borderline psychotic, like somebody who should probably be locked up in a psych ward somewhere. And I'm not even joking. Kelsey and my former best friend had started being friends when she worked at the grocery store, but my former best friend at the time had told me that like Kelsey was weird. Like, so Kelsey, and I've talked about this before too, like all of this stuff is stuff that I've talked about, but you really have to understand this in order to see why I closed Dicey Dyes down. So, and there's so many more layers to this. This is just a brief summary. So Kelsey and my former best friend, they had become friends, and she had known me from TikTok and like apparently was like a fan and had watched the whole journey of like getting my former best friend to move here. And then she saw that they worked at the same Whole Foods together, the same grocery store together. I had like hung out a couple times at my former best friend's house, Kelsey and my former best friend. And then all of a sudden, Kelsey is moving into the apartment next door to my former best friend without even telling her that she was planning on doing that she was gonna move in there. So my former best friend is like, she's so weird, like this is so weird. I was like, just tell her not to do that. Like, that's creepy, whatever. So she's like giving major like stalker vibes. So I think that they're nothing more than like smoke friends. Like, they're not close at all. Like, my former best friend told me like, no, she's weird, like I don't talk to her like that. Like, every once in a while, like we'll smoke together, but like she's weird. Like I do not think that they are friends. I think that they just smoke together sometimes, that they're neighbors, that she like watches her dog like every once in a while, like that they're just like casual people. No, they're like best friends who are like literally plotting against me, okay? Like scary shit, like scary, like traumatizing. Like I lost so much weight after this whole situation because it was genuinely something that shook me to my core. Being lied to by somebody that you've known for 20 years for no reason. And I had told my former best friend, like, I don't know, like her vibes just throw me off. Like, I don't really like her like that. Like, I don't know, she just like, if you're gonna move in next door to somebody without telling them, like, and the whole thing was that I was being lied to. Who knew? Like, who knows? Like, maybe my former best friend knew that she was moving in the whole time and she was just trying to create drama to like, to make me like worried for her, or I don't know, because I would always come running to her rescue. But like, if you wanted to be her friend, why would you tell me that she's a weirdo and then all of a sudden expect me, whenever they did start to be friends, for me to like accept her or whatever? And she also never wanted to like combine the two friendships. Like, she never wanted me to like see or hang out with or, but she wanted me to hire her boyfriend. She wanted me to hire her boyfriend. Am I saying her real name? She wanted me to hire her boyfriend, which makes absolutely zero sense. And also, Kelsey would text me at the end of all this and ask me for a job, but meanwhile I was an ABUSER to my former best friend. Apparently I was her ABUSER. I don't know if I can say that word on YouTube, but I'm being accused of that, and that I literally was like so crappy, like ruined her life, like bullied her and all this stuff. Like, yeah, sure, I got mad a couple times because I didn't place boundaries, and then I was getting walked all over at multiple points, to the point where I would literally freak out. Like, this is my job, this is my livelihood, like I have put so much money into this business, and you guys think that this is a joke. Like, I'm losing so much money, like you guys are coming to work, like not taking any of this seriously. It got to be too much. My heart is literally like, I'm getting like chest pains talking about this. Like, I'm not even being dramatic. So she never wanted to mix the friendships. She never wanted me to be around her, but I had always just thought, because that's what my former best friend had said, that her and Kelsey were just very surface level friends. And meanwhile, they were like actually best friends behind the scenes, plotting against me. And so right after New Year time frame, things had started to get weird. I had asked my former best friend at the time, after our hair appointment, to spend New Year's with me. She told me that she just wanted to go home and go to sleep, and she actually ended up going to hang out with Kelsey and her boyfriend. And when I called her on New Year's Eve, because I thought that she was just chilling at her house, she ended up being with Kelsey and her boyfriend, and was like, oh, like, yeah, like I would have invited you, but like I didn't think you'd want to be around them. Like, I literally told you I wanted to hang out with you on New Year's Eve, but whatever. Snake. Should have known then, but I didn't. I just had my feelings hurt. So, fast forward, things are getting more and more weird between me and my former best friend. She is like lying to me about weird things, acting super shady, being like just really weird. So finally, I call Kelsey, because she had asked me for a job, and she was like, hey, like I know you're opening up the store, because we had already like got the space for the store. My former best friend was super negative about it. She's like, it's not gonna be open to the public, right? Like, we're not gonna like tell people we have a store, like, because then like crazy fans are gonna show up, and like da-da-da. She really wanted to run the store, but the way that she could barely even handle tie-dyeing, like I was like, there's no way you're running the store. Like, you're gonna keep doing the job that you've been doing, because one, you know how to do that, and two, the way that she acts and the way that she spoke, especially in front of like my kids, let alone like in general, super provocative, super like, and I loved her for that. I loved her for that. But like, you're not gonna be sitting up at the store where families are coming in to like, and talking about like deep throating. Like, no. So I had told her like, no, you're probably not gonna run the store. I'm probably gonna keep you in the same space and stuff. So her friend, Kelsey, was like, hey, like I want a job or whatever. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, they're talking about how I'm literally the worst person on the planet, that I'm not paying anybody fairly, and that like I suck, like that I'm just like the worst person in the entire world. So she's like, hey, I want a job. Thought I was the worst person in the entire world, babe. So she's over here asking me for a job. God, these, I hate them. I hate them. Asking me for a job. And so finally one day, things had just gotten to get out of hand. I call this girl and I'm like, hey, like what's going on? Like, I hear from my former best friend that you are nothing but a smoke friend, and that you are literally her next door neighbor, like that watches her dog sometimes, that y'all aren't close at all. Like, what's going on? For real. And she's like, oh no, like I know my place in my ex-best friend's life. I know my place in so-and-so's life. Like, me and her, like, she's like a sister to me. Like, we are like literally like, she's my best friend, and I'm not gonna tell you about anything that we talk about because I have her best intention at heart. But if you want to fix what's wrong with you and your former best friend, I think what you really need to do is give her 50% ownership of the company, because she deserves it. She works so hard, and she deserves 50% ownership of the company, because she works too hard to only be getting paid such and such dollars. Excuse me? What? You think you deserve 50% ownership of a company that I started with all of my money, and I just gave you a job? You think that you are entitled to 50% ownership, and that's what y'all are talking about behind the scenes? I could have literally choked out. So I confront my former best friend about this, and I'm like, so is this what you're being so weird about? And she pretty much just tells me that she believes that she's getting underpaid, and she all of a sudden had to go to Texas for a wedding. She never talked to me about this wedding. She said that it had been planned for months, but it was like right around my birthday time. Like, my birthday is March 7th. We had planned the grand opening of the storefront, and also we were working with the city for the grand opening of the storefront, which was March 10th, and we had to pick a day that the city could do the ribbon cutting. Like, it wasn't like I tell the city, okay, like, all of you city people, yeah, you show up on this day, because that's when I'm gonna be ready. No, like, the city said we can do this day, this day, this day at this time. So we picked the day that worked best for everybody. Well, my former best friend had a wedding to go to for somebody who, like, she barely even knew, that I never even heard about before. Goes to Texas, goes to this wedding, missed the grand opening of the storefront. She comes back from Texas, and things were still super weird, and I told her, I sent her a long text message, and I said, like, hey, I think that we should go ahead and end this here. Things are so weird between us, and I will always value our friendship more than a job, more than this business. So I think that the best thing for us to do is for you to stop working for me and try to maintain our friendship. That was it. That was the end of our friendship. She said thank you so much, you know, for the opportunity, and, you know, da 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 da. Well, then after that, she goes online and runs her mouth about me for months straight, trying to degrade my character with lies, with secrets, with things that I have told her, trusting her, like, literally just tries to put out all my dirty laundry, and then, like, making it more. So, like, not only airing out all of my dirty laundry, but, like, airing out all my dirty laundry and then adding untruthful things to it, like exaggerating it. It was insane. It was literally insane. Then this girl Kelsey, who she was friends with, ends up, like, going online with her, trying to act like she knows me. Girl, you don't know me. You were a psycho fan the entire time. Like, you are a fan. And I don't call my supporters fans. You are a fan. Like, you need help. Like, she couldn't get, like, Kelsey couldn't get to me, but she could get to my former best friend. And so that's, like, Kelsey, like, get help. Like, I'm so glad that, like, I don't even know, like, all of them have changed their numbers, and, like, as I'm editing this, I feel like this is a very important thing for me to add. But after all of this stuff happened, and, like, me and my former best friend stopped being friends, Kelsey and her boyfriend quit, right? Like, after I fired my former best friend, hey, this isn't working anymore. Like, I think that we should stop working together, and I value our friendship more than a job. Kelsey's boyfriend quits, and they all three, Kelsey, her boyfriend, and my former best friend, move back to Texas together and get a house together, okay? That was shocking, because for literally months upon almost a year, I thought that Kelsey and her were surface level friends. But meanwhile, it just, like, it's still mind-blowing to me. They moved to Texas together. I don't think they live together anymore, but they moved to Texas together, like, all of them, in a Penske truck with my former best friend's 2 dogs. Crazy. My former best friend, she had tried to create issues between me and anyone and everyone who I ever brought around. Anyone and everyone who I ever brought around, whether it was, like, business related, friendship related, she had tried to get in the middle of it or cause some sort of, like, disruption, try to get me not to like them. And, like, looking back, some of the people that she tried to get me not to like, it was valid, like, because I'm not friends with them anymore, and, like, they ended up showing their true colors, but at the time I couldn't see it. But, like, majority of the time, it just, like, she didn't want me to, I don't know if it was, like, replace her or, like, what, but she did not want me to have any other friends. So after I had, like, lost them, I pretty much was starting back from scratch with, like, it just being me. I was the one back, you know, like, tie-dyeing and, like, doing, like, mainly everything by myself in the beginning of the storefront opening with one of Cody's cousin's wives Jess, and we had, you know, I still had some people, but like my main heavy hitters, like the people who were like working full-time hours like every single day, which I needed, were gone. So I was having to pull a lot of the load myself again, which wasn't a big deal because I had kind of known as soon as I had made the decision to let them go. Well, the only person I let go was my former best friend, and then everybody kind of like followed suit because they had all like been talking crap and hating me behind the scenes. Crazy. So that's whenever I had ended up hiring this blonde girl, we're gonna call her Blondie, who pretty much was just like there to try to, I don't know what she was there to do. I think she was just there to try to like mooch off of me. She never liked me. She hated me the entire time. I hired her and her best friend at the same time because she wanted to work with her best friend. Never do that. And she ended up trying to get me to hate people that were in my life, and then would turn around and talk to said people she was trying to get me to hate and like try to be buddy with them, but she was trying to get me to not like them. Doesn't make any sense. She would like literally be in our group chat talking crap about this said person that I was friends with, and then turn around and like ask them for advice. And so after I realized she was a snake, and then she started her own t-shirt business, making her own t-shirts and stuff, I fired her because it violated my employee contract, and she literally was like doing stuff on the clock. She was a snake, I let her go. And after I let her go, did the same thing that my former best friend did, ran online, tried to ruin my character, tried to tell everybody how horrible I was. But in actuality, it was just that like I was trying to hire people to work and do the things that I no longer could do because I'm trying to grow and expand my business. But everybody wanted me to be there working with them because they wanted to like work with me. They wanted me to be there. They wanted to be working directly with me every day. Whenever that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for somebody to come in and do the things that I don't want to do the things that I can't do. But no, everybody wanted me to be there holding their hand, hanging out with them every day, doing everything with them, and then they ended up hating me whenever I wasn't and talking crap about me like, Gabby's never here, Gabby's never here. Yeah, because you are supposed to be there. I am supposed to be doing other things. That's why I hired you, so I don't have to do that. Do you not understand? Do you not get the concept? Like, do you not get the, does nobody get the concept of that? Like, you hire more people, you hire people to do the things that you want to, that you don't want to do, that you can't do, so you can grow and expand your business, so that you can be with your family. Like, you hire people so that you don't have to be there. I didn't hire you so I could hang out with you every day. Like, I'm not paying for a friend. I'm paying you to do this work. Now do it and shut up and stop talking to me. Like, and I never said that, but that's what I felt like saying. Like, majority of the time, it's like, you're over here talking crap about me to everybody because I am signing your paycheck and I'm not there to hang out with you every day because you want to work directly with me. I didn't hire you to work with you. I hired you to do this stuff so that I could have more free time to do other stuff. What's not clicking? What's not clicking? So, Dicey Dyes not only turned into everyone that I hired expected to be working directly with me, and if I was not directly working with them, it became a problem. People would talk crap about me. Oh, Gabby's never here, Gabby never does this, Gabby never works with me, Gabby never, and so they end up starting to hate me and resent me because they thought that, I guess, when they got hired that they were going to be working with me every single day whenever I hired them to do the stuff so that I could do other stuff, right? So not only were people that worked for me expecting so much out of me, wanted me to be there, were mad whenever I didn't do this, were mad whenever I didn't do this, were mad whenever, always mad about something. Like, I couldn't just like, they couldn't just show up and do their job and go home. No, they had to be mad about something. They had to be worried about what I'm doing, worried about where I'm at. Like, girl, don't worry about me, worry about yourself. Like, what? So now at this point, whenever I'm going into work, everybody that works for me and with me is too worried about what I'm doing to do their own job. And then I have people who are coming to shop the store are all there to meet me, are excited to meet me, which is the point. Like, you know, like, I understand that I have a social media presence. I have never been upset about somebody wanting to come in and meet me, wanting to come in and take a picture. But when the store was open 24/7 to the public, not 24/7, but like, you know, 11 to 6, Tuesday through Sunday. That's what it was at first, and then we switched it to Wednesday through Sunday. We were open 11 to 6, and then we changed for some holiday hours, and then we went to appointment only. And the reason that we went to appointment only was because every day that I would go into work, there would be a ton of people that were coming to shop the store that were there to meet me, and I would go in to try to get stuff done for work, and I could no longer do that. I would be there talking to people, meeting people all day, which I 100% understand, and I'm not complaining about that at all whatsoever. That was the whole point. I loved meeting you guys. But then at the end of the day, I was so busy meeting people and talking to people that I would have to take my workload home with me, or I would have to stay super late to finish my workload, to where now I'm there meeting people all day, and then I have to take the work home with me whenever I'm supposed to be spending time with my family. And it was getting so overwhelming that every time I would go into work, I would be like trying to hide from people so that I could like get on my phone and like finish listing stuff on the website, or finish taking pictures of a shirt that I had to get up, or start coordinating a drop that I needed to do for the next drop next week. Like, I couldn't get all the stuff that I needed to be getting done while I was at work because people were just expecting me to be there to meet them, which I understand, and I'm not complaining about it, but it's like I set up the business model wrong, you know? All my employees are expecting to be able to work with me every day. People who are coming into the store are expecting to meet me. If I'm not there, they're disappointed. And now I'm back in the same position to where I don't have time to finish my work. I don't have enough time to be with my family. I'm getting burnt out. I'm getting resentful. I don't want to go to work anymore. I don't want to go to the store anymore, because as soon as I get there, I know that, you know, I'm not going to be able to work. So now I'm trying to work from home and get everything done from home, but I need to be at the store because I need to take pictures of stuff that's at the store, and I need to be at the store, but I can't go to the store and work because there's people at the store. And it got to be a lot. It got to be too much, and I can't tell people who are like literally there to meet me, like, hey, like, I'm not meeting people today. Like, I have to work. Like, I have to get this done. Like, do you not know? Like, no, that's like fucked up, for one. And it just got to be too much. Like, I got to be overwhelmed with it, and then I went to jail. I went to jail, and I was drinking all the time. I was not happy with who I was as a person. I was still in this like super traumatized state from feeling like I couldn't trust anybody. Everybody who I thought that I could trust had like lied to me, tried to bring me down in some way, like, and I knew that at that point, like, it was just like, I need to shut down my business and focus on getting sober and focus on myself, because if I keep running this business, it is taking every single thing out of me. Nobody is happy, including me. I'm not enough for everybody. No matter what I do, my employees are mad at me. My customers aren't getting what they want out of me. I can barely keep up with my workload. I'm not spending enough time with my kids. And I was like, I need to get sober. I need to get my life together. I'm gonna end up like crashing out, like, for real. Like, I can't keep doing this. And so a couple months after I got out of jail, I had a serious conversation with my mother-in-law, and I said, hey, I want to shut down. I can't keep doing this anymore. And she was like, whoa, like, we've worked so hard on this. And I was like, yeah, but think about it. Like, look at this. That I started this business wrong from the very beginning. Wait, I have to add something else to this. There is other reasons as to why I pulled the trigger. I'm leaving out a whole entire trauma dump in this, just because I'm not ready to talk about one person that's a huge part of why I'm closing down. One, they are extremely mentally unstable, and I don't even want people to like look into them, and completely traumatized me and made me not know what was reality. I don't know. I'm gonna have to explain it later. It stresses me out even trying to explain it, but just know that there's a lot more than just my former best friend, the employee. It was a buildup of things. Okay, like, literally, I have not set boundaries with any of our current employees. All of our current employees think that they can just do whatever, whenever they want. I'm not respected here. Nobody takes me seriously. I should have never been in charge of people. I should have never been the one that was like directly the boss of somebody, especially with my social media, because as soon as I piss somebody off, they're gonna try to run to the internet and try to like expose me for being this terrible person, whenever all I was trying to do was set boundaries for my business, right? And so I was just like, we need to shut down. I never want to do this again. I never want to be in charge of somebody again, and I can't do this anymore. So over the summer, I announced that Dicey Dyes was shutting down, and pulled the trigger. Started getting sober in September of this year. Started getting sober in September 20th was my last day doing anything. And now it's December 17th. Dicey Dyes officially closed down in November. They're loud, huh? I picked the worst time to film this video, but like literally it was on my conscience this morning and I needed to get this out. Like, you don't understand, like this has been like something that I've needed to talk about because so many people don't understand why I closed down Dicey Dyes. And the reason I closed down was because how can one live, laugh, love in those conditions? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like I've explained that to people, but I feel like this will make more sense. Like, this will make people understand more. At least I hope. At least I like pray that this will be like, oh, okay, now I get it. Like, I couldn't even go to work and work anymore. Like, I could not even go to work and work anymore because it was too much. Like, everybody had all these expectations of me. Customers were having expectations of meeting me. Employees were like needing something from me 24/7 to the point where I couldn't even breathe. And there will always be a few people who I will forever be grateful for, who have been a part of the process. And this isn't me being ungrateful for anybody that's worked for me, but I just don't think that I should have ever been running a business like that in the first place, to where I was the boss of people and I had to tell people when and what they could do, especially with me being like mainly an influencer. Like, I have to focus on my social media. I have to keep up with my social media. And then I have people who are working for me who are, you know, it was just too much. Dicey Dyes was always supposed to be about happiness and love and joy and really being passionate. And for a long time, I really was passionate about what I was doing. But as soon as I lost that passion and it turned into a chore rather than work, I knew that I had to like let it go, because I was literally losing myself trying to keep this dream alive whenever I had so many people like secretly preying on my downfall behind the scenes. And it's just like such a crazy thing, and I never want to allow people like that into my space and into my energy. Like, I'm a Pisces, I'm a water sign, not to get like astrological on you, but I am one of those people where I like feel people's energies. Like, if I walk into a room and someone doesn't like me, or somebody like has like ill intent towards me, 9 times out of 10 I can feel it. Like, I can feel it. But sometimes I don't feel it right away. And like a lot of these people, I didn't feel their negative energy about me until the very end. Like, my best friend of 20 years, like, my husband had told me, like, she's literally taking advantage of you, dude. She is taking advantage of you. She doesn't respect you. She doesn't actually appreciate anything that you're doing for her. Stop. Like, you have a family. Like, we have a family together. You're doing so much for this person who doesn't even appreciate it. She's literally dragging you down. My mom said that to me, and my mom loves my former best friend. And I didn't want to give up on her. Like, I was like, no, she has nobody. Like, you don't understand. Like, she doesn't. And I literally got. And there's just so many other examples of this with like people who I've allowed into my life, like trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, and then them like proving people in my life who like genuinely do care about me, like my mom and my husband, and you know, me being like, no, you don't understand, like they're helping me, like even though it's not in the same way and like whatever, like they're still helping me. And they're like, no, they're literally using you, but like, okay, cool, like, whatever you say, Gabby, like, whatever you say. And then, like, I stand there, I'm 10 toes down for this person until I don't do one thing that they want me to do, or, you know, I do one thing that they don't like, and then they're ready to try to, like, literally ruin my character and try to ruin my life and ruin everything for me, and, like, try to get everybody to hate me. And it's like, I am not the nicest person. Like, I'm a good person, I'm not a nice person. Like, I will tell you straight up how it is. I have a hard time with lying, kind of, like, other than, like, little lies. Like, sometimes I like to plant little lie seeds. I can lie like that. Like, I'll tell my husband, like, yeah, like, some, like, crazy off the wall shit, right? And then, like, he won't catch on to it until, like, a week later and be like, did you lie about that? And I'm like, yeah, I did. But it'll be, like, funny stuff. But I have a hard time, like, lying about, like, actual things, right? Like, lying to people about, like, real life stuff. Like, I have a very hard time lying. I'm a very truthful person. I'm very upfront. I'm very honest. And that rubs a lot of people the wrong way, because I'm the type of person, I will tell you what the truth is. I will tell you the truth. I will not comfort you with a lie. Like, I'm genuinely like, why is my hair flipping out like this? Like, I'm, like, gonna freaking crash out. But I'm not gonna comfort you with a lie. I will always meet you with the truth, and that's just the type of person that I am. And I feel like that's what got a lot of people to not like me along the way. I also am rambunctious. I also am crazy. I know that I'm not perfect, and I've done a lot of things that I'm not proud of, but at the end of the day, I am a good person, and I had to close down Dicey Dyes for me. Even though I feel like I lost a part of myself through that, I can always bring it back. I own the trademarks to it. I can bring back Dicey Dyes whenever I want to, and I can do pop-ups. But for now, I needed to focus on myself, and I have a whole new project that I'm working on right now that is much smaller. Dicey Baby. It's a very much smaller project, and it will be a lot less to maintain, but it's still mine, and it's still my little baby that I'm working on, and I'm so excited to give you guys more information about that soon. But just know that I'm working really hard behind the scenes. Okay, I gotta finish getting ready, and I gotta get out of my house because we're going to the Airbnb to do a couple things, and I'm gonna take you guys with me for that at the end of this first vlog, I think. Come on, let's go to the Airbnb. If TikTok goes away, one thing I want to be super sad about is the TikTok shop finds. I have found so much cute stuff, and one thing is this, like, full teddy bear. It's like long. I'm gonna have to show you when I get out, but it's so cute, and I find so many cute things on TikTok shop. I'm gonna miss TikTok shop. That's one thing. This is the cute teddy bear thing I was trying to show you. TikTok shop. TikTok shop.
I'm wearing my Venom and Charmed. Cheer Dad.
Cheer Dad. Today we're getting all of the... Black Friday was almost a month ago.
It's almost Christmas.
This is our Black Friday purchases that we haven't put up, but to be fair, we didn't have all the furniture to put the TVs on, so we're now just putting the TVs up in the Airbnb because we didn't have, like, the stands for them.
We did at least half our Christmas shopping on Black Friday too.
You might have. We got a lot to do still. We have a lot to do still.
I don't know, our kids don't need to be that spoiled.
I also spent like $1,500 on Amazon last night ordering the rest of the stuff for the Airbnbs, and I ended up going with black towels and, like, pretty much black everything. But yeah, I ended up going with black towels and dark gray sheets. I wanted to do white towels because I heard that you could just, like, bleach them, but after doing some more research and, like, watching other people's, like, experience, who have been, like, experienced at doing Airbnbs, I decided that, like, I didn't want to bleach everything, you know what I mean? Yeah, but I'm afraid it's gonna die.
But it's the thing, they literally only need water like once a week.
Okay.
I feel like one of them would be. One of them.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, I agree.
And maybe in the vanity room upstairs, or like one of the bedrooms. Like on the higher floors where a window can be kind of cracked, like the blinds can be cracked.
Let's put it in the pink room.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring one of our baby monstera, like a real baby monstera plant. up in here.
Yeah.
I told myself I wasn't gonna buy any or like bring any real plants here because I was afraid that we were gonna end up like killing them.
But the monsteras are like they're the hardiest plant ever. They thrive. They live.
This is a pain in the butt to open.
Yeah.
You need this? I can get my box better.
No, probably not. This is already.
Slay! Oh.
I was listening to your story time this morning.
I was trauma dumping big, huh?
I was thinking about you saying, you know, when you were talking about hiring people, and I was like, yeah, I was like, the problem was like you hired them and then like still had to babysit them. It's like I'm paying you to babysit you while you do this.
Yeah, that's what I trauma dumped about, because nobody understands that. Like,
right.
It wasn't like I hired people that wanted to just
like I'm trying to add free time, but instead now you're just paying someone while you do the same shit with them. And then you got a person that literally doesn't care if they blow $10,000 in inventory.
Yeah.
Because it's not their $10,000. So they don't give a Sorry about that.
Wait. I need to make sure I put them all the same way.
I made a big brain move today and brought some of this cheer bag with me.
I know, that is pretty big brain. Usually we're too stupid to do stuff like that. This thing is cute, kind of.
Just the kind of.
Okay, so we're practically finished at the Airbnb today. This is one of the last pieces of furniture we got delivered. It is our TV stand in the living room with the TV put in down here. The vibe in the living room is giving, but it's not 100% giving what I want it to. That's where I ended up putting the plant that I built. Like, I like the vibe in here, but there's just something missing and I can't tell exactly what it is. I moved the shelf over here because it was originally on that back wall and it was covering an air duct, so it can't be over there. I do want to add some sort of art or something to the walls. It's just it's way too plain for my liking. This isn't staying here. This is just where we are right now. I am obsessed with this TV stand though, absolutely obsessed. The kitchen, I can get down with the kitchen. I do want to leave the kitchen more blank and bare boned. Might put some sort of wall art up on this back huge wall over here, but for the most part, I like the clean look of it. Back here in the laundry room, I have a piece getting built for the back washer and dryer area because there's just, you can't really see it because of all the boxes, but it looks really ugly here. And so I'm getting a custom shelf built for over top to kind of hide some of this commotion. And then that way I can store different types of laundry detergents and fabric softeners so that whoever's staying here has what they need to do laundry. I also ordered some stuff from Mavwick's Candles. They have like the best smelling laundry detergent ever. I'm gonna end up putting locks, I think, on this door and on this door over here. And these are gonna be like our Airbnb closet things. Like, you know, how you lock the closet with supplies. This is like my old hanging chair cushion. So I wanna put like locks on these. Let's go up to the second floor. Okay, so the emerald. I have not done anything to the primary bathroom yet. I am putting wallpaper up on this back wall. Haven't done anything though. It's still bare bones, obsessed with the floors. We know that. And then in here, I just ordered the vanity mirrors for the getting ready room. I think I'm gonna put a mini fridge in here. And I don't know what else I'm gonna do in here. But like I have a vision. Oh, I'm putting a huge rolling mirror on this back wall. So that way people can like roll the mirror around to get the perfect angle and like to like put it in the corner if they want so they can use the window for light. I think I'm also gonna put a lock on this because it's kind of pointless. Like it's a tiny little closet for a storage closet on the second floor. It'll be easy for like when the cleaners come in. The master room, not master, primary. I don't like the way master sounds. The primary bedroom, obsessed, gorgeous. We love her. I don't know if the camera's showing how absolutely gorgeous the wall color is. People were trying to say that this isn't emerald green. This is emerald green in my mind. So if it's whatever color in yours, don't care. We put the TV up in here with the emerald green walls. It is emerald green. Like, I know it might look a little bit blue on camera, but you just have to come here. Like, can you see that? It's not blue, I swear to God, it's green. Third floor, let's go up to the third floor. Are we keeping this here?
Usually, yeah. Duh.
I think that this is cute. Jalen.
Who hates that car?
My phone died whenever I was recording the Airbnb, but we've been at the store for a little bit. I just got my coffee, second coffee of the day. Gosh, my camera's about to die again, and I literally had it charging forever. I need to start bringing multiple battery packs with me if I'm gonna start using my Canon G7X. These things, battery life, literally garbage. But I'm not spending any more money on a camera.
Since I have a dentist appointment tomorrow, can I stay up late?
No.
I don't make sense.
We're ending the night with Chick-fil-A in the car. I'm exhausted, and we're gonna go home soon. Zelma and Kurt.
And she said I could stay up till 11.
No, I didn't. He thinks he can stay up till 11 because he has a dentist appointment tomorrow.
It makes sense.
But Zelma and Cody are at cheer, so we're gonna go home and wait for them to get home, and yeah.